Welcome to Bisexual Disasters. I'm Zoe, my pronouns are she, they, and I am a bisexual disaster.
And I'm Dimitri. My pronouns are he, him, and if I were sourdough, you would never know.
What does that mean?
I don't know. You'd never know. You're welcome.
Oh my god. I don't even know how to respond to that. It's just...
I don't think there is a good way to respond to that.
Oh my god. Um okay, so hi. How you been?
I have been pretty okay. A little overworked, but I've got a lot of good things
Mm,
happening in my life, so I can't really complain.
that's good. How did it uh the the fucking global server crash
Oh
go
God.
with work?
It
Was it
okay, so
okay in the end? Because I had a blood test I was meant to go to, and because the system was so balked, they couldn't even see who was supposed to have appointments to like send out texts to be like, you don't have any appointments, like your appointment
mm,
is cancelled. So we walked all the way down there in like 27 degrees, 27 Celsius. I don't know what the Fahrenheit is. If you
27, I think that's like in the
Too fucking hot.
70s.
too fucking hot
Yeah,
is what
72,
that
73,
is.
74, something like that.
We walked down there in really fucking hot weather to just be told blessed. There was like a staff member sitting outside the door, just like thankfully in the shade,
Mhm.
just like telling people that walked up, just like, if you have an appointment, it's no you don't. If you are here to pick up a prescription, you can go and pick up a prescription from the dispensary, but if you have an appointment, no you don't. So I was like, great, cool,
Mhm.
sick, like,
And see, I
urgh.
think one of the things that I find most interesting about it is it wasn't just healthcare that was
Mm.
down. It was so many other things.
Yeah, like the contactless in shops wasn't
Mm-hmm.
working. Like so many, like, and flights. There were so many flights that were cancelled
Oh
because
yeah,
their
either
computers
canceled
weren't working.
or they couldn't even land because
Yeah,
they couldn't communicate. It
like
was
it
a
was
nightmare.
chaos. I
The
I
road.
said to my mom and to the lady that was sitting outside the doctor's surgery, I was like, I think Y2K just like took 24 years to kick in.
Look,
24 and a
I'm gonna
half
tell you now.
years.
I made the same joke. I made the same joke at like
This is why we're
6:15 in the
siblings.
morning. Exactly.
This is why we're
Like
siblings.
from my end on the medical field at least, it was horrendous. At least the hospital I work at, we had an offline version of several things.
Mm.
It's regularly backed up throughout the day and everything, so all of our information we could still basically pull up, but it
Yeah,
was
our
just a
systems are
paper document.
crap. Our systems are crap over here, and they've been like
Mm.
really trying to force everyone, at least in my area. I don't know how widespread this is throughout the UK, but at least with my doctor's surgery in our village, they've been really trying to force everything digital and like force people to like go online and look at their patient records and do their prescriptions and everything online, which I get. Like, environmental wise, cool, digital stuff is great, but to not have any sort of backup for the system going down is like, why didn't you think of this? Like, why are you relying so heavily on the tech working? Tech is great, don't get me wrong, but it fucks up sometimes. Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Right.
So,
But
yeah,
it
it's.
was it was just so bad. We had so many things and operations we could not perform due to the
Mm,
fact that a lot of the mechanical side of everything
yeah,
was just completely down. But we were fortunate enough that our hospital was able to get completely up and running
that's
within
good.
3 hours,
That's really good.
which is more than a lot of places. And I even
Mm,
heard that there was, I think, at least two confirmed countries where the entire country was without power due to this whole thing.
Jesus.
Right. I did, however, find official statements from Microsoft detailing that this was not a cyber attack. This was not
No, it
something
was
crazy.
wasn't it
It
like an
was
update that
entirely an
went
update.
wrong?
Yeah, it was an update that
Yeah.
they went to put in, and they accidentally messed up code, so it
Mm.
shut everything down. So they went back, fixed the code, and then re-updated.
Someone's getting fired.
Oh, bro, someone, if not an entire department,
Oh, I
they
forgot.
ain't getting a bonus. The IT team might though. But
Yeah.
other than that, the rest of my week was actually pretty dang great. I had a lot of good things. I had a lot of good news. I had a lot of
That's
work.
good.
But I am transferring to a different department that is potentially going to be coming with a nice pay raise
Ooh.
at a fixed schedule.
Ooh, that'll be nice.
Oh, it'll be very nice
That'll
considering
be
the
really
fact that
good.
it'll be like 5 a.m. to 3:30 in the evening.
Okay,
So,
that's good.
like, well, yeah, especially because that means I will be awake closer to the times that a lot of my peoples in the UK and
Mm.
Europe will be awake.
Which means that not only will getting together to record episodes be easier, but just generally being able to hang out and play games together will be easier.
Exactly. And that's my biggest focus.
We need to play more Chain together at some point,
Oh my
because
goodness.
that was so much
Yes.
fun. Oh my god.
Like,
I keep
I don't know
thinking
if
about
you
it and I'm like, oh, when are they going to have days that line up again? I need them to have
right?
days off that line up again. I need to be chained to my boys. Sounded better in
Which,
my head.
look, if you know, you know. But no, to anybody who hasn't, considering today we are going to be talking about more video games and stuff,
Mm,
if you haven't heard of Chain Together, it is absolutely a hilariously entertaining game.
it's so
If you
fun.
have friends that you can play with and just laugh and
Mm.
accept failure in stride and keep
My
going, you're gonna laugh so hard.
my
I almost peed myself.
sides, my sides and my face were aching so much from laughing. But it was so fun, and I think having it on the easier mode where we can reload our highest point,
Mm-hmm.
our highest safe point when we fall all the way to the bottom, makes it so much better because it means we can actually make progress with less of the frustration. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, because I like a game that challenges me, but I don't like a game that challenges me so much to the point where I'm just really frustrated, especially when it's a multiplayer game, because I don't like the risk of me like snapping at whoever I'm playing with, but just because
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting frustrated at the game. Like I don't want that to happen. Like games are supposed to be fun and games with friends are supposed to be fun with friends. So having that setting I think made it better, because it was
I
like,
would
okay,
agree.
well at least we don't have to do all of that again. We can just go here and start from where we fucked up, which is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Um
I 100%.
but yeah, so few updates on things. Well, first of all, I want to get a mini rant out of the way.
Go for
Hello Fresh.
it.
Fuck them.
I know no one can see it, but the face, the pure rage on Zoe's face right now
It's
completely sidetracks everything I thought she was going to talk about.
it's so hard to cancel a box. Like not to cancel a box, but
Is
to,
it
to
really?
cancel your to like put your account on pause so that they're not like automatically sending you boxes is really difficult. You can skip boxes in the phone app, but you have to like
Mhm.
go onto the browser to, and it has to be on a PC, because I tried to do it in my phone browser and it just gave me basically what the app version is, so I couldn't even do it like in browser on my phone.
That's so weird.
So like you have to go like on an actual computer in the browser to put your account on pause, and it annoyed me. And with my ADHD, I didn't fuck it. Like I cancelled a bunch of boxes in a row, but I didn't think that time was up yet. So I woke up and like £35 has gone out of my account for food that I did not request. I do not want. I looked at the meals that are going to be in that box. I At least two of them, I was like, that looks fucking disgusting. I don't want that. One of them's like a feta and tomato salad. I don't like feta cheese or tomatoes.
Mm.
And I know obviously like you don't put in your a huge amount of information about like what you want and stuff, but like
Right.
it it's just it irritated me today and I was annoyed, and because you can't like cancel a box if like 5 days before it's going to get to you is when they take the money out.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't do anything between that payment and your box getting here. Like once
Mm-hmm.
that payment's gone out, you're fucked. I contacted customer services, try and get it sorted. They were like, nope. I was like, but I don't want it. I don't want your food. And the best they could give me was suggesting that I give it to a friend or family member that can make use of it. And I'm like, you're
Are they
assuming
gonna pay me for it?
you're assuming I have any of those close by for a start.
Right.
Like the fuck? Now, to be fair, we do have a food drive at our church that I
Mm.
have given some ingredients that HelloFresh has like given me for recipes I have requested, but I've just like wanted to omit something. Um, I like there was, I think it was kidney beans. There was
I
like,
don't like those.
I don't like kidney beans, so I omitted them. It was from like it was from one of the Mexican recipes that I requested, but I just don't like
Mm-hmm.
kidney beans. So I like put, I think it was, anyway, it was one of the recipes I requested, but I don't like kidney beans. So I put that to the side and I donated that. So I can do that with some of it, but it's more just the principle of it that pisses me off. It's not the end of the world. I'm not going to like go super in debt because they took £35 out, but I am annoyed about it. I'm
Well, yeah.
annoyed that it happened. It's not like ruined my day or anything like that, but it's just pissed me off a little bit. And I'm like, I already don't have a very high opinion of them
Mm-hmm.
because despite what all of their adverts and stuff say, the quality isn't as good as it is said to be,
Mm-hmm.
which I kind of look past a bit because sometimes they do some really nice recipes, and when they send me vouchers that's like, hey, come back, we'll give you money off voucher, then I'll like come back for a few weeks and then I'll
Mm-hmm.
fuck off again. Because I just can't afford to do it full time. And some of the issues I have could be localized. So it's not
Right.
like I hate HelloFresh and I'm gonna like start a boycott. I don't care that much. It's not that big of a deal. Just from my experience, hasn't been fantastic. And also the delivery people are assholes, but that's the
I
delivery
feel like
company's
that's
problem.
yeah.
But yeah, so I already was like kind of tired of it, but then this morning I woke up to that and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? It would be HelloFresh that does something like this to me. Fuck you. Not to completely besmirch the company. I'm just a little bit pissed off at them right now.
Just a
Um,
little bit.
just a little bit. But yeah, so that's my rant, my like mini rant. I'm not like super enraged about it, but I am a little bit pissed off. Um, but yeah, the other sort of small talky updates. I had my ADHD telephone appointment the same day that I was supposed to have my blood tests, the day the servers went down.
Oof.
So we were able to get through the telephone appointment because all it was really was the new meds that I mentioned last time. She gave me 2 doses,
Mm-hmm.
so I was supposed to do 2 weeks of the first dose and then go up a dose for the second week, and then we would review. Um, so did that, like sent her my uh blood pressure things because I had to go into my doctor's
Mm-hmm.
Thursday to get my blood pressure done because they have to check that because it's stimulant based, as I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the telephone appointment went fine. Hopefully, I will get another prescription soon. She's gonna put it up a little bit because the side effects with these meds have not been as
Well
bad
tracked.
as the last meds I was
Well,
on.
that's good.
When I was on Concerta and Zagatin, those were the two
Mm-hmm.
that like my body didn't really like, and it wasn't a huge problem, but it was like
It was enough.
I felt like jittery, like I felt like kind of uncomfortable in my skin. more than I usually do. Like, it just made me feel a bit weird, which I think is probably coming from the stimulant part of it. And
Yeah,
I am
especially
getting,
with Concerta.
yeah, and I am getting that a little bit with this one, but not as bad.
Oh,
Um,
that's good.
and it's not affecting my anxiety as much as the Concerta and Zagotin were, because I feel like they were making my anxiety worse, which could also have been because stimulant. Um,
Hmm.
and oh, what was the other main thing? There was the anxiety, the jitters, and oh, my mood. It was like numbing my mood. I can't remember if I mentioned this before, but like it
Hmm.
sounds good on paper when you have borderline personality disorder that something might numb your mood. But when you are at the stage in your life when you're trying to open up your emotions so you can properly process them, having a chemical come along and squish that is not productive.
No.
Like,
Oh, you wanted to feel today? No, you don't.
yeah, like I know my emotions are big and they can sometimes be terrifyingly big, but like I'm not ever going to learn to live with them if I don't feel them.
Hmm.
So I need to feel them. I don't want to chemically squish them and cope with life that way. That works for some people. I'm not saying like, oh, you shouldn't take meds. Maybe no. If it works for you, it works for you. It doesn't work for me. I don't like it. I don't like how it feels.
Right.
So I prefer to know that my feelings are my own and aren't chemically adjusted. So
Right.
like if they're big, fine, they're big, but they're mine, you know?
Exactly. And I
So
think that's one of the biggest things is being able to have that balance in your life where you can deal with and sort through emotions and
yeah.
everything and not just squash them down or be overwhelmed with, everything going on,
Yeah, exactly.
which ironically lines up with what we're talking about today.
Yeah. So there's that. So she's put me up a dose because I'm not noticing any good effects from the medication,
Hmm.
but like I said, the bad effects I was getting on the previous ones are a lot less.
Oh, that's
So
good.
I was like, I feel comfortable going up a dose and seeing if maybe some good effects start happening. And obviously there's loads of options out there. Like if it still doesn't work, like we're prepared for that, then we move on to the non-stimulant based stuff. But for now, I'm taking it slow with my meds, and it's just going okay. It's going a little bit better. Hopefully, it will start helping me with my ADHD and not just doing nothing. Fingers
Good.
crossed. um,
Right.
and then yeah, just like a few other quick little things that I've been up
Mm.
to that I am like feeling positive about. Um, plants. My plants are doing well. Knock on wood.
Oh, good.
Particularly two of the three potatoes that I planted are growing
Hmm.
really well. They're growing up through, so I put them on the bottom two shelves of one of my little greenhouses,
Yes.
and the two that are on the bottom are growing up through the gaps in the shelf above. So I'm gonna need to move them out soon.
Oh, yeah, probably.
They're getting quite large. Um, and yeah, my sunflowers are doing pretty well. Some of my other flowers and herbs and vegetables and stuff are growing little tiny baby plants, so that's doing well.
Aw.
I had to water the entire garden over the weekend because
Oh.
my mum and my stepdad were away for their anniversary.
Hmm.
Um, I don't actually know if my mum listens to the podcast. Happy anniversary, Mum and Nigel, if you're listening. Nigel's not a podcast person, but my mum might
No.
listen. Just in case. Happy anniversary. Um, but yeah, so they were away, and because obviously Friday and Saturday it was really, really hot, I had to
Right.
make sure I watered not just my plants, but my mum's plants, which is basically the entire backyard. So I was just out there with the hose, just going over everything. And then yesterday I didn't bother because it was overcast all day, and I like checked, like I looked them over, and I was like, you don't look like you're thirsty, so I'm not gonna overwater you. You can have a break for today. You look fine. So yeah, plants are going well. And then yeah, I just been doing some spreadsheets. I decided, I don't know what for some reason, some like a comfort activity for me is like to kind of calm my fidget hands is to just make
Hmm.
spreadsheets
I mean, if
like
it works, it
on
works.
random stuff. Um like I've done one on like crossover movie series,
Mm-hmm.
mainly horror. So like it started off, I was wanted to put together like a cohesive Alien and Predator timeline. And then I also did Sadako and Kayako, aka The Grudge and the Ring.
Right.
I did Freddy and Jason. I did, what was the other one I did? Oh, The Conjuring, Insidious and Annabelle. So I got like different sheets for each of
Ooh.
them and just like timelined them out because I haven't watched all of the movies in those series and I want to, but my brain
Mm-hmm.
really likes to have timeline orders when I watch through things.
Right.
So whether it's by release or by universe timeline,
Mm-hmm.
I like to watch them accordingly. So I've been doing that, and then I decided that I would make a spreadsheet for every single fucking game that I own, and like what genre they are, what time the how long to beat says they should take to play, whether I want to stream them or not, if they're multiplayer or not. It's just like stuff like that. And I've been
Mm-hmm.
working on that when there's like a lull and I've got nothing to do, I'm like, I'll just work on my spreadsheet a little bit out of like it's gonna take me forever to finish. But once it's done, A, it gives me something to do. And B, once it's done, it's gonna make so many things so much easier when it comes to like just generally hanging out, playing games with friends, or not really knowing what to play and finding something just to play on my own or finding something that I
Right.
want to stream. It's gonna make all of those things so much easier because I game so much, but I have so many fucking places to play games and I have so
Right.
many games on each of those places and it's really overwhelming sometimes. You know, like when you get a new grocery delivery and like all your cupboards and fridge and freezer are like fully stocked and then you look and you're like, I have nothing to eat because you're just overwhelmed with
Yes.
choices.
Too many options.
Yeah, that's how I feel when it comes to gaming, and so I get like kind of ADHD paralysis, game related ADHD paralysis
Mm-hmm.
where I'm like, I could play this, but then but I should really do this in that. And I just so spreadsheets help. Not just with that, but also just other like ADHD things. Spreadsheets have been really helping me.
Which is
Um
super awesome.
yeah, and also writing
Yes.
cuz our little writing project has been more active lately and that's been very very fun.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, I totally need to respond later to that one.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm sure she doesn't mind waiting a little bit.
Yeah, probably.
Mm, he's okay. But for today's topic, we are continuing our favorite video games discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just trying to get out my list. There we go. Today we're talking about our comfort and escape favorites.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I mentioned this to you before we started recording. Some of mine were talked about last time. Um,
Yes.
because some of them are also just generally my adult favorites, like Sims 4, Dragon Age Mass Effect, particularly Dragon Age Origins.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so they are also technically in this category, but I talked about them on the last episode, so I'm not going to go over them again. But they are also my comfort and escape faves. But apart from
Indeed.
those, I have five plus two honorable mentions. And you said you had how many?
I've narrowed mine down to three specific ones.
I don't know how you narrow things down. I don't know the meaning of that word.
It's my level of autism. I'm like, you know
That's
what?
fair.
I have such a large list. Let's hyper narrow that down. Like crazy hyper.
Okay.
So, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. Um I have no idea which ones we have in common this time, so I'm just gonna go in order of the way that I wrote them down. The
Mm-hmm.
first one I wrote down is Stardew Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Absolutely love that game. I made a one of my many notepads I made into a Stardew journal, and then when I no longer needed this like binder journal
Hmm.
for a D&D, because this was a D&D character journal, and then I didn't need it for that anymore, so I turned it into a more extensive Stardew journal, and there's information on all of the like giftable characters, romance and non-romance, all of the like fishing, foraging and stuff you can get in each season, stuff like that. And I know they have a wiki that's really really good. Is 99.9% of the information I have handwritten into this journal straight from the wiki? Yes. Do I care? No.
No.
Why? Because it looks cute and I can flick through it and not have to like switch windows, not have to like alt tab between the wiki and the thing. I can just physically flip to the page in my Stardew journal and just see the information I need, and it makes me happy. And yeah, it's really fun. I've only got to year 3 once, and in that playthrough I am married to Elliot and we have one child so far.
Aww.
My first romance was Shane,
Hmm.
and then I think I started romancing Sebastian at one playthrough, but I lost that save file. But I did
Aw.
marry Shane.
Hmm.
I don't think we'd got as far as having a kid in that save file. They were all
Hmm.
on I think my old laptop possibly.
Hmm.
So those save files are long gone, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I I love it. It's great. Stardew Expanded is also really good. I have not uh modded Stardew since I put it on this PC because
Hmm.
do I wanted to get a good amount of distance into the game just with the 1.6 update stuff that got added before I
Right.
started modding it again. But I have used Stardew Expanded. It's really nice. I really like the extra characters, particularly Victor and Sophia. Is it Victor?
I don't know.
I think his name's Victor. I'm not going to look it up, but I think his name's Victor. It's not Vincent because that's the kid that's in the base game.
Hmm.
But yeah, I really like Stardew. It's
Nice.
nice and chill. I like crafters,
Hmm.
like crafter games. Whether it's survival or just like cute, chill, casual, I really like games like that. It's just
Right.
it's just nice.
It is. And speaking of that, that leads into the game that I picked,
Mm-hmm.
Minecraft.
Nice.
Look, I can't tell you how many times growing up I would literally load up Minecraft. Like especially when
Mm.
um I was in like my early 20s. I want to say like maybe I was 21, 22. Um and I had like the weirdest like job relationship
Mm.
with my first like well, not my first job, but one of my first jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And I would work almost exclusively overnights.
Oof.
So I would be like, sleeping from anywhere between 8 a.m. to like 4 or 5 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd just be awake. And on my days off, no one's doing anything. So I'm going to stay inside and I'm going to play Minecraft. And oh my, I would play Minecraft. I would start somewhere around like 6 and I'd take a break for food at some point. I never paid attention to the time. And I'd
Mm.
only be like, oh, I might be a little tired once I saw the sunrise.
Mm.
But I would spend literal days building these houses, towns, at one point, an underwater labyrinth kind of a
Mm.
thing. And
Nice.
I loved the concept. There'd be days where I'd be like hardcore survival. It'd be hard mode, it'd be survival, it'd be everything. And I would try my best to build some kind of place. My favorite was a 3-tiered house, and when you walked in, it had a double staircase
Mm.
after the door. Like you'd walk in and underneath, and then once you made it through the entrance of the lobby, to your left and right is a staircase that would invert backwards up above that front door and lead to the
Mm.
new level and everything.
Mhm.
And I got so elaborate with this place. And it wasn't even in creative mode. So I would constantly tear down trees, replant the trees, tear down trees, replant the trees, somehow find a bucket and start like planting as much as I could.
Mm.
And my favorite piece within the house was, I called it the tree of life. Water was pouring out from within the tree and like through the branches onto like this little pool behind it. So it looked like a never
Oh,
ending fountain inside.
I
I
love
loved
that.
this thing. And I've gotten to the point now where if I play with friends, I'm playing on creative and I'm making elaborate but aesthetically basic places.
Mm.
While they're like, oh, I'm gonna build this, I'm gonna build that, I'm gonna build this convoluted door thing. And I'm like, those are really freaking cool. Mine are basic as hell. They're not gonna be convoluted, but they're gonna have some of the most obtuse things you have ever seen. And I'm okay with that.
That's good. I
But it,
do like Minecraft.
mhm.
I didn't think to put it on my list because it's been a while since I've played it. Funnily enough, Jamie was playing it the other night and I was like, you're making me really want to play Minecraft.
Oh, I know. If I wasn't already doing things, I would have jumped right in.
Yeah, I was just like, damn it. Damn it, woman. But it is really good. I really
Hmm.
like playing survival crafters on peaceful mode.
Hmm.
Like not creative mode, but peaceful mode. Like beginning of this month, end of last month, I was playing a lot of the forest. I got
Hmm.
through quite a bit of it. Um just on peaceful mode because I was like, I really like this game, but like there aren't really a lot of people that I know that play it that have free time when I have free time. And I was like, I'm too much of a pussy to deal with this shit on my own. Like I can do
Hmm.
Minecraft on off of peaceful mode on my own. It's fine. It's Minecraft. I can handle that.
Right.
But the forest? Hell no. I'm not playing that alone unless I'm on peaceful mode. And I am not ashamed
Preach.
to admit it. Pussy out. um
I
but
want to get that for PC to play with you though.
it's good. I do really
I have
enjoy
it on
it.
PlayStation.
I
So
I think I have it on I do have it on PlayStation as well, so we could play it on PlayStation together at some point.
later today.
Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. But yeah, so things like that. And
Mhm.
I think I mentioned The Long Dark in another episode.
You
Um
did.
Playing that on peaceful because the only really enemies are wolves and bears, and I'm like, I don't want to kill wolves and bears.
Yeah, no, for real.
Does it make me slightly sad because I want to pet them, but if I go near them, they like whimper and run away. Like that's the way that it gets around the combat thing is they'll just run away from you. Does it make me
Hmm.
a little sad? Yes, but far less sad than it would be if I had to fight them.
Hmm.
So I'll take it. But yeah, it's just games like that on peaceful are like they are really chill.
Hmm.
Even forest, which is meant to be scary. It's like,
Look, on
I
peaceful
pick
mode,
not.
just chop down a couple trees, build
Yeah.
a nifty little base,
Like I just want to
hunt down
explore
turtles.
everywhere, find all the things, and
Hmm.
like I want to get through the story. Because then it's like whenever I play with friends, it doesn't fucking matter what we do. We just kill shit, build shit. It doesn't matter. But I want to know the story.
Right. And I've never gotten far enough to know.
No. I think maybe I'm kind of near the end, but I'm not
I'm not.
100% sure.
I'm not even close.
uh, but yeah, another crafty game, a sort of adventure crafter type game that I really enjoy is My Time at Porsche.
I've never played it.
It is I would say the best way to describe it would be kind of like 3D Stardew.
Mm-hmm.
Um, except instead of moving into your granddad's old farm, you move into your granddad's old workshop. And
Okay.
so you build like furniture and stuff, do like requests for like commissions for people around town, help repair the town, help all that kind of stuff, build relationships, romances, stuff like that. All very similar to Stardew, but it's not.
Right.
But it's not Stardew. Yeah, very very enjoyable. I like that one. I like oh my god, what's his name?
Great question.
I cannot remember his fucking name. The my current playthrough, I'm trying to like
Google is
that's
free.
what I'm doing.
I can't tell you how many
On the
times at
Porsche
work as
wiki.
well, I just obsessively use Google for like the most simplest of things because I haven't started like the major portions of like med school or anything.
Mm.
So half the terms that like all these doctors and nurses are using, I'm like, oh, that's a term I don't understand. Google. Oh,
Mm.
I now understand it. And I will remember this for the next 12 minutes.
Gust. He honestly, looks wise, kind of reminds me of Elliot from Stardew. He has lovely long hair, except he's nothing like Elliot from Stardew. It's blonde hair. He's the mayor's son, but he is also one of the partners in like the construction company in the town.
He's got such long hair.
He does. He is. He's very. He's quite quiet and a little bit serious, but not like in a grumpy way.
Uh huh.
Just like he's just a guy, and I like him. He is my current romance in that game, or attempt with like the one I'm working towards. I'm not far enough into into that playthrough to actually have romanced him yet, but I'm working on it. I'm getting there.
Mm,
Um, but yes, that one's very similar to Stardew.
nice.
Um, and then there's Disney's Dreamlight Valley is another one that's good for relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I I will say I go through phases of all of these. Like I Dreamlight Valley, I can't play it for too long
Mm-hmm.
because I really enjoy it. I love Disney movies and stuff, and all the references makes me really happy. But I do get like I'll either get completely sucked in and I will lose an entire day to Dreamlight Valley, or I'll get bored in 20 minutes. Like
I mean,
there is
yeah.
no in between. Whenever I think I want to play it and so I try and play it, it goes one of two ways. Either I'm 10-20 minutes in and I'm like, nah, this ain't the vibe for today. Or suddenly it's like 11 p.m. and I'm like, oh, well, shit, where did the day go?
Well, oops.
Oopsies.
Right.
So yeah, that one's kind of a funny one, but it is very nice and chill.
I love that.
Mhm.
See, another one of my favorite ones is Heartwood Online, and I only found it recently, but it is so fun.
I've not heard of that one.
Um, yeah, it's free to play, and I think it's like early access stages. But you know, it's kind of like that standard RPG. You make one of four different classes. You customize yourself to an extent. You run through. It's very simple to pick up and go. It's not complex graphics or anything. It's very pixel art,
Hmm.
but
Nice.
it's so easy to just zone out, try to, you know, run around, level, craft things, make your own armor, make your own weapons, make things like that. But it's again,
Hmm.
it's so easy to just zone out and like run around with like a friend or two in your party, like kill a couple vultures, move on and die a lot. But it's one of the games that there really isn't much consequence at all to
Mm.
dying. You just keep moving on, you enjoy, you die. You keep on, you move on, you die. And all those things. There's again, you don't lose anything from dying aside from the experience you could have gained. The more friends you have in there, the less XP you get from a kill, but
Mm-hmm.
it's split between everybody.
Okay.
So it's kind of like in Pokemon XP share.
I never played that.
Like, so the less people you have in your party, the more XP you will individually get.
Makes
The
sense.
more people you have in your party, it splits that XP amongst everybody equally. Well, proportionally at least.
Okay.
Levels, being a thing.
That's very good.
But I think for me, being able to just zone out and enjoy has been one of the biggest pleasing aspects of it.
Mm. I will say, you saying about there being no consequences just made me think, I wish Subnautica had a peaceful mode. Because they have creative mode,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have like easy, medium, hard, or whatever it is, but they don't have like a peaceful mode
Mm-hmm.
where it's like environmental effects can still affect you and like the thirst and hunger and stuff, but enemies won't be aggressive. That's what I want for Subnautica, because that would be a really good chill game if it wasn't for the fucking Reapers. Because I don't just want to be on creative. I want to work for the things I create in my
Right.
creative games. Like, with the exception of a some, obviously, like with the exception of
Mm-hmm.
some games it's like more design based, so it's like, yeah, but when it's like like farm and craft kind of games,
Mm-hmm.
like resource gathering and crafting, like, no, I still want to gather the resources, I just don't want to die. I don't want a fucking reaper to eat my ass, like.
I mean, depending on what the Reaper looks like.
No comment. um
I'm sorry if the
not
Reaper looks like
not the
you know,
Subnautica. Not the Subnautica Reapers.
that,
Not the Subnautica
I'll leave it at
Reapers.
that. I'll just not continue.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, like I don't want the wildlife to attack me.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't want to put it on creative because I'm like, that's too easy. I don't want it that easy. I want to just be able to spawn whatever I want.
Right.
I still want to work for it. Just make things not attack me. So I
Exactly.
wish Subnautica had that, because they don't. And if they did, they would also be on this list. But they don't, so they're not. That sounded sassier than it was intended to, but there we go, I guess.
What else you got?
My next one's Hogwarts Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I love that game. I was reluctant to play it. I know it is the source of some controversy on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And I originally was like, I'm not fucking playing that game. Then I
Mm-hmm.
saw some more articles coming out from the game devs and how they were basically, without outright saying it, kind of sort of saying, like, you know, her opinions are shit, and we're going to make sure that our game doesn't follow her personal opinions.
With
Uh,
100%, especially
mhm.
with a lot of the creative liberties they took with a lot of the
Yes.
characters, a lot of the
Yes.
portraits you find around the area.
Yes.
10 out of 10.
And
I
so,
support how they went about it.
yeah. And so I was reluctant to play it at first because I I love the world of Harry Potter. Just the concept, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I am a huge Harry Potter fan, but I detest J.K. Rowling as a person. It upsets me
Oh
that
yeah.
someone so horrible created something that I love so much. I don't
Right.
like her. Just I just This is just my personal opinion on her. I do not like her, but I love
Mm-hmm.
Harry Potter. So I was very torn when this game came out because I was like, shit, it looks really good, but I also hate her.
Right.
um, but when I got it, it wasn't during Black Friday, but it was during a huge sale. It might have been during Black Friday. I don't remember, but it was during a huge sale, and I also got had a voucher in my like Epic Games like wallet or whatever it is that they call it. Like I had a
Mhm.
voucher. So the game was like I think down to 30 quid and the voucher took it down to 20 instead of like 45 or whatever it was before. Like the
Mhm.
standard price of it at that time. Because I think originally it was like 50 or 60 quid and I was like, I'm definitely not playing that.
Right.
But with that particular sale and the voucher I had lining up, it took it down to 20 and I was like, I'll pay 20. I'll pay that for it. I'll do that. That's fine.
Oh yeah.
Um and it's really good. Like I I absolutely thoroughly enjoy that game.
Mhm.
I haven't finished it yet. I recommended it to Steph and she finished it in like a week and she did all the
Mhm.
side quests too and I was like, "Girl, you work every fucking day. How do you do this? Tell me your secrets."
Hyper focus.
Yeah, probably the lack of ADHD fucking distracting you all the time.
Right. Or the ADHD hyper focus. It's very possible.
It could also be that, but yeah, I just like she's completed it and I'm like, fuck. I'm like,
Right.
now I need to hurry up and finish it because she's like, I want to talk to you about stuff, but I can't. I'm
Right.
like,
And
God
see,
damn
that's the thing with the game though. For me, my fiance bought it when they paid literally no attention to any of the controversy. They're like, "Oh, game, buy."
it. Mm,
And since they bought it, I had access to it. So I'm like, I'm not spending any money on it.
mm-hmm,
I'll check it out. I'll see what it's like. I got very quickly overwhelmed because of all the things they put in it. There was
yeah.
like a catch 'em all aspect, there was a combat aspect, there was a home decor aspect, and
Mm.
so many things. I'm like, oh, this is my brain is overwhelmed. I don't know what to do next. I can't. I
See,
don't.
what I like to do with games like that is like pick a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, like a certain type of collectible,
Right.
and I'm trying to like describe it without giving away anything in case someone hasn't played it yet and wants to. Uh but like pick a particular type of collectible and then I'll go around and like get that and
Mm-hmm.
I'll like do all of that one thing and then or at least as much as I can. And then once I'm done with that, I'm like, okay, next thing. Cuz if I go sometimes I'll go by area and try and like clear everything in an area, but that sometimes like really fucks with my brain because I'm like you said, like I get overwhelmed with the different directions I have to go
Mm-hmm.
in. But if I'm like, okay, I know there's a collectible here, I'll go get that collectible there. Because with uh Hogwarts Legacy, if you have seen the collectible on your travels, it will mark it on your map for you. So you
Yep.
can just be like, ah, I would like to fast travel to near this collectible and I'm going to go get that. And then once I've collected that one, I'm going to fast travel to this one and I'm going to go get that one. I really like doing it that way because then it's like keeps
Mm-hmm.
it tidier in my brain. But yeah,
Right.
it can be overwhelming at the beginning of any game that's like that where it's just like
Mm-hmm.
you get all the shit thrown at you and you're like,
Right.
thanks. Uh,
It's it can be quite overwhelming.
ew, hell
Although
yeah.
one of the games that is on my list
Mhm.
can be overwhelming, but in this case, it wasn't. And that one
Mm.
is, and again, slightly controversial, Pal World.
Not played that one before.
I love how they went about the game. Now, again, one of the biggest controversies is everybody keeps saying like it's a clear copy of Pokemon. Do you know how many games are clear copies of Pokemon? Way
Many.
too many. And if you find a concept that works, you move with it, kind of a thing.
Especially when Pokemon Go came out, there were so many different like
There was a
franchises coming
Monster
out with
Hunter
their own
one.
version. There was a Jurassic Park one.
There was a Harry Potter one.
I think was it Hogwarts Mystery? Or was that
I
no, that's the other one.
No,
I don't remember what it was
I don't know,
called.
but there were
But
so
yeah, there
many of
was.
them.
I had the Harry Potter one and the Jurassic Park one.
Mm,
I got bored of the Jurassic Park one quite quickly.
right, but even with
I
Pal
think the Harry
World,
Potter one shut down.
I think it did. It
Mm,
wasn't popular.
mm,
But the one that I like with Pal World is, yeah, it's a catch 'em, but at the same time you can build your base, which I will spend way too much time doing. You can, much like Minecraft, customize how your world plays.
mm,
So like, I'll play for fun. So I'll make resources hella abundant. So like, I'll hit it once, and instead of one piece of, lumber, I get like 18. So I can just keep building and building and building and have fun with it. I can keep going. I
mm,
can collect pals who just build and do nothing else. I can collect tons of food and then start, progressing through everything. And it's not that I don't like the challenge with it. It's being able to play through and have
mm,
a peaceful playthrough without much going on allows me to, enjoy the story aspect of it without being completely overwhelmed by the challenge on days that I have like no spoons.
mm.
Which, as of late,
It's a lot of
until
days.
my department switch, is entirely I have no spoons.
Yeah.
My spoons are gone. I got none. And if you understand spoons, 10 out of 10. If you don't understand spoons, that is for another day.
I got no spoons to hold me up to make me get out of my bed.
True. True. I was gonna say like true and fact, but somehow I ended up with Prue. We're gonna move on from that. But yeah, no, Pal
Oh,
World is definitely one of those games
oh,
that
that
I can
reminds
just
me of
zone out.
something. Sorry, you saying Prue just reminded me that the uh actress that played Prue Halliwell
Mm-hmm.
in Charmed, the original Charmed, we don't speak of the other
Right.
version.
No.
Uh, she passed away.
Oh,
Yeah, Shannon
now I feel
Doherty.
bad.
She she it big sad. She was great though. I love
Mm.
her. I need to rewatch Charmed
Mm-hmm.
soon. She was a good bean.
You need to rewatch Charmed, or we need to rewatch Charmed.
I have them all on DVD. We could definitely rewatch them.
Oh, we're gonna have to set aside times.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this we are gonna need to like set aside so many fucking the hangout times
Brother sister
when you
date. Sorry.
switch. Yeah, brother
Mm-hmm.
sister date. When you switch and you like get your better schedule,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna be
Oh, it'll
making
be so much easier.
plans.
Oh, 100%.
So the next one on my list, which is the last one that apart from the honorable mentions, is
Mm-hmm.
Animal Crossing. Uh Specifically New Horizons.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just nice to just, run around and do shit.
Right.
It's just really cute and I like it. And I was playing it daily for like 3 months. I haven't played it in a little bit, but I really enjoy it. I again with that one, like with every game, I go through stints of like playing it a lot and then just playing it every so often, and then I'll be extremely playing it a lot again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I really enjoy it. My mission is to get an island full of wolves. I am nearly at that point. Where's my phone? I have the app on my phone that is like a ACNH guide app that I have that you can like put in the things, and I have one, two, three, four, 5 wolves out of a possible 10 residents. One
Mm-hmm.
of the residents is gonna stay even though they're not a wolf, and that is Muffy, who is a black sheep
Oh.
with purple horns, and like she always wears purple. And um, so have you ever played Animal Crossing?
Um, very few of them.
Okay, you know how they have like their little nicknames that they'll like. the characters have their certain little words that they'll like greet you with.
Mm-hmm.
Muffy's is Nightshade.
Oh.
Some people out there will understand why I love Muffy because of that fact. If you don't, it doesn't matter. But that's the thing that like she calls you. And I learnt that from playing because I also, which I haven't played in a long time, but before I got a Switch and New Horizons, I had the Pocket Camp, Animal Crossing's Pocket Camp on my phone. And I got her in that and I was like, oh my god, I love her. She calls me Nightshade. I love her so much. So when I was making my island on New Horizons, I was like, okay, I want an island full of wolves, but if I find Muffy, Muffy is the exception. She is the sheep among wolves that will live on my island. And I found her and I was like, yes! So I'm going to have an island full of wolves. So I just need to find 4 more wolves, basically. I need the other 4 residents of my island that aren't wolves or Muffy to move out. And then I need to go and find 4 more wolves. Like, and then everything will be perfect. Well, not perfect, but it'll be great. I'll have an island full of wolves. It'll be fantastic and I'll be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've been also trying to like work on prettying up the island a bit more. Um, but again, I'm not like constantly playing it every single day, like trying to perfect everything, because there's just too much stress and energy that I don't need to be spending on a game.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's nice to just be like, oh, I have this idea, I'm gonna do that, and just chip away at it bit by bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good game for that. What else do you have, or is that all of yours?
I actually have one that I hadn't mentioned, and I'm actually
Oh,
kind of
ooh,
upset that I didn't mention.
ooh, go ahead.
And I might have mentioned this at one point throughout. However, this game I have been playing for over 10 years, and I love this game so much. It is Final Fantasy 14.
Ah, okay, yeah.
I, I started this game around patch 2.2, which, for anybody who doesn't know the game originally came out as a train wreck. A horrid, god awful, messy train wreck at 1.0. It was terrible. It was sloppy. It was gross. It was half playable, half not. But the community itself loved the game even then. Um, the current like head dev of the game, who just goes by Yoshi P, decided he's going to overhaul it, and I mean literally overhauled. Everything was completely rewritten and moved on, and he made 2.0 continuing the story, but with new graphics, new gameplay, new story, and everything that continued off the events of the original.
Mm,
The game was loved by so many people that a lot of the dumb things they did in the game just to have fun became story canonical events.
nice.
Like in the first one, they had this thing called a Goobu Mount. It is a giant plant-based, like ogreish thing with a giant body that's basically just a face, with like tiny sub legs and huge like whip-like arms. People just took a bunch of them, just like made a wall of their mounts and everything outside of one of the major cities.
Hmm.
That became a canonical event. Like in the game and everything. They talk about the Great Goobu Wall and everything, and it's hilarious.
That's cute.
But I started around patch 2.2, so less than a year after the release of, the game itself.
Mm,
I was immediately enthralled. Start, you make a character, you have the most cryptic, convoluted start, and you try to unravel who you are in all of this throughout the story. You meet people that come and go, some a little more permanent than others, but you keep going, and it's so enrapturing.
mm.
I lost myself in the story of this game.
Hmm.
And the game itself is on its, let's see, fifth or sixth expansion.
Oh wow.
Fifth, excuse me. It's fifth expansion, and um, they allow people to play up to the fourth expansion completely free, and I mean entirely free, because they want people to enjoy the game.
Hmm.
I love the story so much. Granted, there's still frustrations with some of the characters, but you have crafting, you have gathering, you have combat. You can customize a house with thousands of options and over hundreds of thousands of combinations between furniture, walls, colors, decor, paints, things like that. They've added so much to this game. Mounts, you can gather and collect minions. You can use minions in combat games. Like, this game has so much, and the thing I like the most about it is you make connections in this game, whether it be with NPCs and things in it, or people who play the game. I
Mm.
have lifelong friends that I have from this game. I met my fiance through this game. I have so many fond memories, and this game will make whatever character you make a part of its world
Mm.
in an unchanging way. I am so invested in it, and I play this game regularly and just find myself completely lost to the world that I currently live in and fully existing in this game.
That's really cool.
It's my number one escape. I become the character in some aspects and just run around doing this or that,
Mm.
living life. Me and my friends have also made canonical story like based things about our characters in the game, but we're nerds. So, but the game itself is, I cannot talk about it in a clear enough fashion that makes it seem as amazing as it really is. But what I can say is, if you pick it up and you enjoy story and you invest in finding out who you are and your place in the world, you will become just so invested in everything the game has to offer. Not only that, being able to escape to a huge world, several continents, zones all over the place. Like it,
Mm.
I lose myself in this game
I do love
for
open world
hours,
games.
and it's so good. It's so good. I could rant, but it would be incoherent half the time. So I'll just.
Well, my two sort of honorable mentions um that I put on here are
Mhm.
Power Wash Simulator and House Flipper.
They're both so good though.
Because Power Wash Sim is just so satisfying. The reason that it is only an honorable mention is because it is also very time consuming. And to get especially once you get a bit further and the projects get a bit bigger and it's just like, that's
Mm-hmm.
gonna take me a fucking while. So it can be very time consuming, but it is so relaxing. Um and House Flipper, I mean, my
Same.
number one played game is The Sims 4, so of course I like House Flipper. Like, I love it.
What?
I love the whether it's like going in and just literally just flipping houses just from the store, just like buying it, cleaning it, redecorating it, renovating it, whatever, selling it on, or whether it's redecorating my own like office space, or whether it's, I think the most recent one I bought was the one where the tree is going up through the middle.
Oh yeah.
um and or whether it's like actually doing like assignments that the game gives you. I don't have all the DLCs yet, so there will be more assignments. I think I've either done all of the assignments or I'm nearly done. But they, like, each DLC usually has more with it, so when I get more DLCs, I'll get more assignments. But whether it's assignments, personal space, or just flipping a house just to flip a house, it's really relaxing. I really enjoy it. But yeah, it's not quite as high up on my list as The Sims, obviously, because I fucking love The Sims. But it is a really good game. It's really fun. I like being able to like walk around and actually like paint the places and place the things, and like I really like that. Um yeah. That's all of the ones I can think of, really. I'm sure there are more,
Oh, easily. Like I can tell you now.
but
If we were to talk about all of the games that we find instead of narrowing them down somehow, we
yeah.
would have like a 76 part series.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But yeah, I think mainly the other ones, if like I'm pretty sure if there are any I've forgotten, they just fall into the realm of either design or like survival crafter slash adventure crafter.
Hmm.
Um, like I mentioned, the forest and peaceful mode, um,
Hmm.
like stuff like that.
Right. Mine unfortunately fall to mainly RPGs. Something
Hey,
that I can zone out and just enjoy.
there's nothing wrong with RPGs.
Right?
And obviously
I do
Terraria we spoke
have
a little bit about before in a previous episode.
right.
Um, yeah,
I do
just
have one honorable mention,
okay.
and that honorable mention is a game that has yet to be released, but the
Oh,
demo is out. It is called Beloved Rapture.
okay.
And the game itself is very much like a classic RPG, turn-based Final Fantasy kind of like style.
Mm.
Um but you got the classic combat, you got like modern exploration. Um the game itself has an amazing story that it's shown out so far. Um and it is a very um LGBTQ friendly game.
Mm.
It kind of goes through someone exploring, you know, their history, what they want to do with their life, their, you know, coming of age,
Mm.
exploring, who they are, what they love, who they might love, and everything. Um, and all in all, the game itself, I played the demo and absolutely loved it.
It does look really cute.
It is, um, but it hasn't released official yet. Um, so once it does, in theory, in a week, it looks like I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna play it and I'm gonna give you a review.
Cool.
Oh, that was a sneeze that came out of nowhere, and I'm glad I muted.
Oh, bless you.
Oh. But yeah, I hope you guys had a lot of fun listening over the past, 3 episodes on our own personal collections of
Yeah.
video games.
Yeah, I promise we'll talk about something apart from video games on the next episode.
Oh yeah,
we
do
have
I know exactly what?
we
No,
have so
but
many things written down in our episode plans. It's not that we were extending this because we were like out of ideas. We just have so many thoughts on video games that it was like, this cannot just be one episode. We couldn't even keep it to 2 episodes, but
no.
yeah,
And then we've got like 18 different like ideas already shipped away.
at
Probably
least.
more
Yeah. So yeah, we've we'll be back to non-video game related things next time.
in theory.
In
We'll
theory.
find out.
Yeah. But with that being said, Thank you for lending us your ear. You can find me on Twitch as Vamp Zoe or on YouTube as Witch Vamp Zoe. And if you want to leave any suggestions, discuss what your favorite games are, anything like that, you can go to r/bisexual disasters podcast and leave some stuff in the subreddit or in the YouTube comments.
And if you want to follow me as well, you can find me on Twitch at The Danger Bacon. I will eventually start streaming more again. I stopped because of the move, and I haven't started back up.
It's r/bisexual disasters, not bisexual disasters podcast. Forgive me.
Corrections.
I got it wrong. I fucking made the subreddit and still I got it wrong. Ha ha ha. My memory's crap.
I do that all the time. But again, thank you guys so much for lending us your ears.
Yeah.
We love doing this when we have the time.
By we, you mean you.
Shh.
I kid.
I know. But you don't gotta call me out so publicly.
What are siblings for?
Calling out each other publicly.
Exactly. But yeah.
Until then, have an awesome time, have an awesome week, day, month, however long it is before you listen to our next episode.
Yeah. Take care. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other, and we'll talk at you again soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.